Carol, Randy and I are sitting here chatting, and I don't know. Don't you think this is the self-defense is pretty legit in terms of the way they chase him into the garage, and he is a young kid who's so many kids are affected by this TikTok phenomenon.
Well, I don't think there should. So are we going to have the TikTok excuse?
Yeah.
I mean, that might be the truth, as the years go on. But, you could tell that it's the family. They were just trying to protect each other. Zach tried to run one of the sons off the road. He gave the mother a black eye. They just were trying to protect each other. They weren't trying to be to do anything to him. They were trying to get him to stop.
Well, they were trying to beat him up. He chased him into the garage to beat him up, right? I mean, there was the physical altercation end of it.
Okay, maybe, but I mean, what came first? Didn't she, the girlfriend or wife, said that you're not going to like what he's going to bring up, and they thought he was going to bring a gun, and then they saw he brought a knife and a stun gun. So, I think that you could say that they were acting in self-defense.
Yeah, that's true. But you can't. They ran into his garage, so you could have retreated.
Well, also, I know he's not a juvenile, he's not a child, but there's an age difference there, and this guy's got a history, and he's working in an environment where things are physical and
corrections facility.
Yeah, and there are ways to do things, and that's why we follow laws, and that's why we file lawsuits. If you're in a skiing accident, you file a lawsuit. You don't go to the person's garage and threaten them. And yes, they wanted him to stop doing what he was doing, and a lot of people probably wanted him to stop doing it. But there are legal ways to do it. You don't go and say, you better stop, because the next question is, or what? Or are you going to punch me, or are you going to hit me? And he was a scared kid. I think the self-defense, like I said, I think it's a better defense here than a lot of the cases we see it raised in.
Carol, do you think we're going to see this young man on the witness stand?
That's a good question. Maybe, actually. He might want to get more TikTok views by going on the witness stand.
I don't think he wants these views that he's getting.
Well, the thing is, I think one thing that really is a big part of it is that this has been going on and has been escalating. It's not that it just happened that day or over a couple of days. In fact, there were TikTok viewers who came to their street to see this in person. I mean, to see the escalating fight between the two families in person. So it wasn't just that they were being harassed by Zach. It was that there were all these people who Zach was essentially bringing to the street by putting the videos on TikTok.
Oh,
I mean, it was really driving them crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Randy, could you imagine this kid being your neighbor and videoing your wife and calling her Karen and then, swerving, whether he was actually trying to hit your kid, but he's definitely swerved at him. They were at their wits' end. And Carol, if they would have gone in there and beaten up the kid, don't you think they would have been criminally potentially liable there at that point?
Well,
let's say they all walk out alive and he is left with injuries. Or let's say he dies in this. They weren't protecting themselves going into his garage, and if he comes out dead.
Yes, they would have been in trouble. And in fact, there was a case against them, but for some reason it was dropped. I mean, I'm not saying that it was great that the family went into his garage, but they did apparently call the police on at least one or two occasions, and that didn't resolve it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They did call police, and it's just this very strange case of all these different things coming together. Neighborhood squabble, a young, kid that is infatuated with this TikTok and getting views. He's getting the people are like, yeah, that's hilarious, man. Keep it up. And he's probably, Carol, feeling right? He's feeling that dopamine rush every time he looks down and sees, 100 more people just watching me and followed me.
Right, absolutely. I should do more of this, and I should escalate it. Also, if you listen to the 911 call that he made, he lied on the 911 call, in a number of ways. He said they came on my property with guns. And then when I fought them off, they drove away. My windpipe was crushed, et cetera, et cetera. And I was kicked by like 10 people. There's blood all over me. They came, they had guns. He said it at least twice, that they had guns and they were going to kill us. Well, you know, I think he could have seen that they didn't have guns.
Yeah, it's ironic that someone was videotaping as well. Boy, describing the battle that went on there, the fight, and didn't realize how many people there were involved, really on both sides going at it. Billy is the witness's brother, and then, of course, his dad is his dad, and his dad ended up dying. Randy Kessler, Dr. Carol Lieberman, still with us. Carol, when you look at the defendant in this case, he's sitting in court, you know, he has a suit on, and he's clean cut, and do you notice anything stand out to you, and how do you think jurors are perceiving him, given the narrative from the opening statements that this was the kid that got under everybody's skin with his TikToks?
Well, he does look very different from the mugshot. You know, it's kind of, he's blinking, and you kind of get the impression like he's all of a sudden realizing that this is real life, you know? This is not TikTok. I'm in deep trouble. And it's like, you know, kind of waking up and realizing, as I said, that he's in deep trouble, and the rest of it, the earlier part, just seemed like kind of a game.
Well, that's part of the equation, Carol, is that, you know, for self-defense, you have to be worried for, you know, your safety, great bodily harm or death. And to Randy's point, I think jurors are going to realize that, oh, yeah, kid, you were in danger because you needled these people for months, and I could see they were going to harm you. And maybe deservedly so in some jurors' mind, but he gets over that hump, does he not, that he was in danger?
I think he did feel in danger because even though they didn't have weapons, there were, you know, 4 of them. I mean, I don't know how much danger he thought he was in from the mother, but at least the father and the 2 sons, and they're big. It's really sad seeing this son testify. You could feel the weight of, as he's talking about what happened, you know, he's not talking about it like, oh, and then we did this, and, you know, we you know, I hit him this way. And I mean, he's not like happy about any of this or proud of any of this. You could tell he has the weight of his father's death and of everything that happened on his shoulders. And it's very sad. You feel his sadness.
No, absolutely. And to your point earlier, this is the result of these types of feuds, and you know, it's so easy to get ripped into a rabbit hole or whatever, or a battle with your neighbor over something stupid, and then fast forward.
It could go both ways, right? It could go, well, this is what you deserve, pal, for putting all this stuff on TikTok, and it could go both ways. Well, this is what you guys deserve for coming to his house after you knew he was agitated, and that was what he was like. The problem for the prosecution is they have the burden, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, both sides deserve something, maybe. This family didn't deserve to be ridiculed. They didn't deserve to be on TikTok. But is the penalty for that the guy gets beat up in his own house? You know, but they're not on trial for beating him up. He's on trial for murder. And the state has a significant burden. They have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this guy murdered them without any reason, that he did not have any ability to claim self-defense. And I just think that he's got a good self-defense claim.
We'll see, we'll see where it goes. Let's take a break here.